This song was taken from a book on poems by a woman named Irene McCary, and she had this poem called Daniel in the Lion's Den, and so I liked it. The author is unknown, and I put it to music so I could remember it, and then I got this lion to sing with it, and usually I would do it as a children's story, and each verse ends with, "They weren't allowed to bite," and I would bite you kids with my lion. But today I'll just have to bite myself. But someday when this is all over, I'll do it again, okay? I'm going to bite you two over there. No. Right? Oh, it makes it more fun. Okay, so, and just really, it's amazing how I wasn't even asking to do a special music, but then when I got asked and found out that the sermon is on Daniel in the Lion's Den, it works perfect. Right, Pastor? Right. Okay, you may start it. But he wasn't the least afraid, 'cause God had closed the lions' mouths. He answered when Daniel prayed. But I think he heard those lions growl from the mouth that God closed tight. For they looked at him with their hungry eyes, but they weren't allowed to bite. That den on their great big restless feet, for they were starved and the food was there, but they weren't allowed to eat. The saliva dripped from their hungry mouths, and their stomachs hurt all night. So they looked at him with their hungry eyes, but they weren't allowed to bite. He prayed there all night through, and just as soon as it was light, the king came down there too. And Daniel cried, an angel closed the lions' mouths last night. So they looked at me with their hungry eyes, but they weren't allowed to bite. And the king was glad and the king rejoiced when he heard what Daniel said. And he ordered all those wicked men to be thrown in the den instead. And the lions leaped and the lions roared, and it was an awful sight. 'Cause God had opened the lions' mouths, and they were allowed to bite. The Bible says that the time will come when I'll stand in a lion's den. This world will be the den I'm in, and the lions will all be men. And they'll try to destroy the children of God. They'll hunt for them day and night. And they'll look at me with their hungry eyes, but they won't be allowed to bite. And I hope that the time will come when you will stand in that den with me. And then we'll pray to Daniel's God and wait as patiently as Daniel did when God heard his prayer and sent an angel bright to close the hungry lions' mouths so they weren't